Why I write. I write because I don't know if any of you were or ever aware of the author. Her name is Dia Reeves. She wrote Bleeding Violet and Slice of Cherry. Bleeding Violet came out in 2009 and Slice of Cherry came out in 2010. I'm sorry, not 10, 11. Those, like, she was one of the first black authors I've seen write in a genre that did not include trauma or racism or any type of discrimination or just pain, like generational pain. I appreciated reading her book Bleeding Violet because you had this flawed heroine who's very gorgeous, but at the same time she's like crazy, but she like didn't have to portray herself to be anything perfect. And I felt a connection towards her because she was a librarian, and also she was a writer, which I am currently. She kind of pushed me in this direction because after reading her book, when I realized that, oh my goodness, I'm reading black characters that are going through different things. I see this black character who's a monster hunter. I see this black character who it has a very close relationship with her sister, and it's not like anything trauma based. It was just refreshing to see that. And she actually, the sad part about it is that she came around the time like when like YA, like especially like YA fantasy and YA romance and YA genre in general was starting to be on the rise. But unfortunately, due to a misunderstanding, she got blacklisted by well-known book bloggers, and pretty much she like just fell off the radar. She had a couple more books that were self-published afterwards. You can check them out on Amazon. I will leave a link in this TikTok. She pretty much like passed away 2019, and I was upset because I was sad because I realized a lot of people did not know that she passed away because like the way that like for us, like when I see like these authors, like I don't want to piggyback off of what's been going on because I'm aware of what happened like a week ago. I'm aware of that, and I don't want to like I'm not gonna for like because I'm not gonna mention it because it's like at this point I just want to focus on solely on like Dia Reeves. When black women, when we are not allowed to have a second chance, especially after like things like that. But then you see like authors who are not people of color or not a woman, they get many chances, and regardless of like they're in the position where they're on top, they have all the success, they have that following, they show people their worlds, but they can start over, it doesn't matter. But like with Dia Reeves, unfortunately, due to a misunderstanding, she was not able to get that second chance, and then she had her self-published books out on top of it. I just felt like with her, like she's like an unsung hero, I feel, because I would have never known that I could see a character that looked like me, a character with my upbringing, to like find themselves in the situation, like be the heroine in their own story, be the damsel in distress, or be that like that kick butt warrior that like carries around a sword. Like she like helped me put into perspective how like I wanted to write. I can admit at first, like when I was in high school, I wanted to write because I was reading the authors. Like I'm not saying that they did not, like they don't deserve their flowers, like Rachel Mead reading Vampire Academy, or L.J. Smith's The Secret Circle. Like yeah, the L.J. Smith definitely deserves her flowers as well. um I'm just saying, I never saw a character that, like a main character that looked like me. I never saw a character that looked like me that was the center of a love triangle, or a character that was like that people wanted to be around because of their energy. Like we were always like the black best friend or the magical Negro, just like being the support of like most of the majority of the time a white main character, or we were there as like, or we're having that issue now with some, like, especially with like some like books or like media in general, that black decoy girlfriend where the black girl is like the love interest at first, but then she's a decoy for like making way for most of the time white like female love interest. The thing is that for her, like with Dia Reeves, like she like wrote like and just wrote, and I'm not saying that racism like is not a factor, like race is not a factor like when it comes to me being a black woman, because I'm very aware of like race being a factor always, especially sexism as well, since I'm a black woman. But honestly, truthfully, when I read Dia Reeves' book, I was like, I read her books in a matter of 2 days, and those were the published ones. And I have yet to read her other ones, but I know they'll be just as good. And for me, I write. I'm not saying I write because of like her. I'm not dedicating my career because of her, even though she will be like, I'll always think of her when it comes to me writing, because she made me realize I shouldn't care what other people think or what the majority thinks. I should write based on me because it's me. She wrote because she was unapologetically herself, and that's what I do for my writing. For me, I'm not here to just say that I don't want to follow any tropes, even though tropes are fun. Like, I don't want to like do like write based on, oh, I want like people to like me or like my writing, even though, yeah, true, like, yeah, I want people to like my writing, but I don't want to be something that I'm not. I don't want to write based on like something that isn't me. And for me, I had issues with image. Recently I just started coming into my own look, like my own self in a way. Like in a way I was like broken out. I was a late bloomer in a sense. And with my writing, that's what I'm doing, portraying. I'm portraying myself through my writing, and I want to share it with other people. With Dia Reeves, I'm upset that she's never received the flowers that she deserved when she was alive. And with her, I will always like I will always be grateful for me to just pick up that book that one time. Did not even know, I did not see a black girl on that cover, did not even know that she was a black woman author. And then seeing her just open my eyes and realize that I was like, I don't have to play it safe all the time. With her, like she wrote, like, and she just wrote from my heart, and it was like weird stuff, but it was like very entertaining. Um, I didn't mean to go on this ramble, but like, Dia Reeves definitely is one of like my, like, I'd say she's like, honestly, I think of her when I write. I tear up because I realize she never received her flowers, even though she's like an unsung hero, I feel, for black women authors. And I hope to have a career that where it matters and it stays with someone. It takes that one person. It doesn't even matter. Like, you can even reach 10 people, and that would be enough for me. Like, for her, like, I don't know, like, she touched me, and I'm just like this one person. And that's why I write. Because I realize that a black girl can make it. A black girl can be a heroine. A black girl can be a warrior. A black girl can be the object of someone's love. And yeah, I hope my writing will touch other, like, it's not only just black women I want to touch, it's also anyone. At this, my writing, like, I want it to touch people, to know, like, pretty much to just know the world that I'm building to share with other people.